Okay guys, using 3D in After Effects can be really frustrating because it was never designed for 3D to begin with, but they realized the importance of it and they squeezed in 3D into the functionality of After Effects. It's still pretty powerful. It can be frustrating, and all you really need to do is just practice for a little bit using the keyboard commands, and I think you'll be okay. I want to just talk about using the camera tools. If you hit the letter C, I don't know if you guys can, if you notice how my cursor is changing. Every time I hit the letter C, I can toggle between 4 different camera controls, and I'm gonna stay on the camera icon because I have a 3-button mouse. If you're using a 3-button mouse, then you can use left mouse drag to orbit, middle mouse button to dolly, and then right mouse button to zoom. However, if you only have 1 button on your mouse, then you can utilize the letter C and switch between orbit, dolly, and zoom. However, once again, I'm sticking on the camera icon because I have a 3-button mouse. Alright, in this first exercise, just want to make sure that you guys understand where to look for certain attributes. And my goal is to create a shadow that will be casted on this plane. And I don't see anything here. So my first place I'm going to look is the shadow text layer. And if I expand all the attributes, I'm going to open up material options. And the very first attribute under material options says cast shadows. So I'll switch that to on. And I expected to see a shadow, but it still didn't show. So I'll leave that on, and we have to actually click on another area. I've got to also click on the spotlight underneath light options, and I want to make sure that cast shadows is also on. Once I turn cast shadows on for both the light and the text layer, now I'll see the shadow appear. Okay, so there's 2 places I had to turn on shadows. Okay, I'm going to open up another file. I just opened up another file called Shadow Cube Composition. And I'm orbiting around here. Instead of the word shadow, I'm trying to cast a shadow by using a cube. Alright, so again, I'll go into the light options and I'll make sure that cast shadows is indeed on. And then if you remember that text lesson with the word shadow, I selected the actual word and made sure that cast shadows was on. So if I want the cube to cast a shadow, I'm going to look in these options, and I don't see anything here that I don't see any cast shadows option. Well, this is a composition made up of 8 different planes, 8 different solids. I'm sorry, 6 different solids. This is a cube made up of 6 different solids. So if I double click, I go inside the comp, and all I need to do really is just turn on the material options, cast shadow attribute for 1 single plane. And if I jump back, I can see a shadow casted. Okay, now there were 6 different solids in there. So if I go to the second solid and I turn on cast shadows as well, check it out, I got another shadow. If I want an accurate shadow, I really should turn cast shadows on for all 6 of these layers. And it seems pretty redundant to have to open up each of these solids, go to material options and check cast shadows on. But that's what you have to do, and the repetitive nature of this exercise, I hope, will remind you that cast shadows is an attribute inside of material options, and you have to turn on cast shadows on the object that's casting the shadow, but also the light. And finally, now I've got the proper looking shadow for the object. Alright, this is pretty much just an intro to 3D. Don't forget to use the letter C and toggle through 4 different navigation tools. If you have a 3-button mouse, you can stay on the camera icon, but otherwise you'll have to hit C every time you want to switch between orbiting, dollying, or zooming. All right, my recommendation is just get a 3-button mouse. If it's easy for you to grab a 3-button mouse, then you can just stay on this camera icon. All right, try this exercise out on your own.